You already know. Something in your life is not right. Not completely wrong, but not what it could be. And the truth is, you have known it for a long time. You just learn how to ignore it. You wake up and the feeling is there. Subtle, quiet, easy to dismiss, but present. A sense that you are not where you should be, that you are capable of more, that time is passing and something is being lost. Not all at once, but slowly, almost invisibly. And instead of confronting it, you move. You distract yourself. You fill the space. Because facing it directly would require a level of honesty most people are not willing to reach. This is how life is wasted. Not through dramatic failure, not through obvious mistakes, but through avoidance, through delay, through the quiet decision to not act when you know you should. Most people imagine wasting their life as something extreme. They picture someone doing nothing, someone completely lost, someone with no direction. But that is not how it usually looks. It looks normal. It looks acceptable. It looks like routine. You go to work, you complete your responsibilities, you do what is expected. And on the surface, everything seems fine. But underneath, there is something else. A quiet awareness that you are not moving forward, that you are repeating more than progressing, that your days are blending together and that time is not slowing down. You feel it in small moments, when you are alone, when the noise fades, when there is nothing to distract you, and for a brief moment, you see clearly. You see the gap between where you are and where you could be, and it is uncomfortable. Not because it is dramatic, but because it is true. And instead of staying there, you escape it. You reach for something, anything, because clarity demands action, and action requires effort. This is where most people lose themselves, not because they lack ability, but because they avoid discomfort. They wait for the right moment. They wait for motivation. They wait to feel ready, but that moment never comes because readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision, and decisions are uncomfortable. So instead, they choose what is easy. They choose what is familiar. They choose what requires the least resistance. And over time, those choices accumulate, not into progress, but into stagnation. And stagnation is one of the most dangerous states because it feels stable, but it is not. It is slow decay, a quiet drift away from your potential. There is another layer to this, one that is harder to admit. You are not just avoiding effort, you are avoiding responsibility. Because taking responsibility means accepting that your life is the result of your actions, not your circumstances, not your past, not other people, your actions. And that realization is heavy because it removes excuses, it removes justification, it removes the comfort of blame, and what remains is accountability, pure, unavoidable. And for many people, that is too much, so they avoid it. They tell themselves stories, they rationalize, they delay, and life continues unchanged. But deep down, they know. They know they are capable of more. They know they are wasting time. They know they are not fully engaged. And that knowledge does not disappear. It stays, quiet, persistent, waiting to be acknowledged. If you pay attention, you can see it clearly. The moments when you choose distraction instead of progress. The moments when you avoid what you know matters. The moments when you settle instead of pushing forward. Each of those moments feels small. insignificant, easy to ignore, but they are not. They are decisions. And decisions shape direction, not immediately, but over time. Life is not wasted in a single event. It is wasted in patterns, repeated actions, consistent avoidance, a gradual shift away from growth. And because it is gradual, it is easy to miss. Until one day, you look back and realize how much time has passed and how little has changed. This is the moment most people fear. Not failure, but realization. The moment when you see clearly what you did not do, what you avoided, what you postponed, and you understand that time does not return, that opportunities fade, that potential, unfulfilled, does not wait forever. But here is what matters. That moment does not have to be the end. It can be the beginning. Because awareness is the first step. Not comfort, not motivation. Awareness. Seeing clearly without distortion, without excuses, without avoidance. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And that is where change becomes possible. Not easy, but possible. Because now you are no longer unconscious. You are no longer drifting. You are aware. And awareness creates choice. The next step is decision. A simple one, but not an easy one. Will you continue as you are, or will you change direction? Not in theory, not in thought, in action. Because nothing changes until your behavior changes. This is where discipline enters. Not as intensity, but as consistency. Doing what needs to be done, even when it is uncomfortable. Even when you do not feel like it. Even when there is no immediate reward. Because discipline is not about feeling. It is about commitment. And commitment is what separates those who drift from those who move forward. It does not require perfection. It does not require extreme effort. It requires consistency, small actions, repeated daily, focused, intentional, aligned with where you want to go. And over time, those small actions accumulate into progress, into direction, into control. You begin to notice it, not in dramatic changes, but in subtle ones. You waste less time. You think more clearly. You act more deliberately. You feel more aligned. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer avoiding. You are engaging. And that is the shift. From passive to active. From reaction to intention. From drifting to directing. It is not instant. It is not easy, but it is real. Most people will not make this shift, not because they cannot, but because they will not. They will continue comfortably uncomfortable, aware but inactive, knowing but not acting. And life will continue as it always does, moving forward with or without them. But you are here, still listening, still paying attention, and that means something. Because awareness without action is incomplete. But awareness with action changes everything. So the question remains, not abstract, not distant, immediate. Are you going to continue wasting your life, or are you going to take control of it? The answer is not in your thoughts. It is in your actions. What you do next. Not tomorrow, not later, now. If you are ready to stop drifting and start directing your life, subscribe to Silent Authority. Not for motivation, but for clarity. Because once you begin to see clearly, you begin to act differently. And if this made you reflect, leave a like so this reaches someone else who is still avoiding the truth. And remember this, you do not lose your life all at once. You lose it one decision at a time, the same way you build it. The difference is whether you are paying attention or continuing to ignore what you already know.